If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns are entering the 2025 NFL season with one of the most fascinating quarterback storylines in the league, and it's already shaping up to be a high-stakes battle for the starting spot, after Deshaun Watson suffered a devastating Achilles tendon rupture. For the second time in his career during the winter, the franchise made it clear that they weren't going to rely on one single solution to patch the hole. Instead, they flooded the room with talent, veteran presence, youthful promise, and high-upside rookies. Joe Flacco, the Super Bowl 47 MVP, was brought in through free agency, providing invaluable experience and leadership. Meanwhile, former Steelers QB Kenny Pickett, a fourth-year player with starting experience, was acquired via trade. To top it all off, the Browns used two of their draft picks to select college standouts, Dillon Gabriel from Oregon and Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Now, all four quarterbacks will compete on equal footing as Cleveland tries to find the leader for Week 1. This competition isn't just a symbolic gesture. Head coach Kevin Stefanski and his staff are giving each of these quarterbacks a real opportunity to prove themselves throughout training camp and the preseason. According to insiders around the league, this isn't a battle being decided by name recognition or contract history. Instead, the Browns are placing a premium on processing speed, football IQ, and decision-making under pressure in minicamp. And honest, Sanders reportedly dazzled with his poise and accuracy, catching the attention of both coaches and teammates. Gabriel, though drafted slightly higher, has taken full advantage of his reps, showing off his arm strength and adaptability. Flacco, unsurprisingly, has provided a steadying hand, managing the offense with the calm of someone who has seen it all. Pickett, however, remains a bit of a wild card, neither standing out nor falling behind, making the next few weeks critical for his future in Cleveland. All of this quarterback depth is both a blessing and a logistical dilemma. While competition can raise the standard and prevent complacency, there are only so many reps to go around in practice, and only one quarterback can lead the team come Week 1. Keeping four quarterbacks on the roster long-term is rarely sustainable, especially for a team like Cleveland that still has Deshaun Watson under contract. Even if Watson isn't expected to return to full form anytime soon, the Browns front office can't ignore the long-term implications of their current depth. Carrying too many QBs clogs up cap space and roster flexibility, particularly when the team could use help at other positions. That's why many experts are now urging Cleveland to explore trade opportunities, especially as other teams around the league deal with sudden injuries and quarterback uncertainty. Enter the Tennessee Titans, who just suffered a brutal blow to their own quarterback room. On Monday, the Titans confirmed that Will Levis will be undergoing season-ending surgery on his throwing shoulder, ending any hopes they had of building around him this year. This news sent shockwaves through Nashville, where the Titans had already been relying heavily on Levis as the centerpiece of their rebuild. With Levis out, Tennessee is now staring at a depth chart that's both inexperienced and uninspiring, making them a prime trade partner for the Browns. Sportsnaut's Jason Burgos put it best: "It's already tough to be led by a rookie, but Tennessee has the worst backup situation in the NFL right now. But the Browns could help them fix that." For Cleveland, this isn't just an act of goodwill, it's a chance to extract value from a crowded room. From Cleveland's perspective, this is exactly the kind of trade scenario they should be targeting. With the Titans suddenly desperate, they may be willing to overpay for stability at the quarterback position. Kenny Pickett, while inconsistent during his time in Pittsburgh, still holds some value as a young passer with starting experience. Trading him now could yield a fourth-round pick or perhaps more if Tennessee's urgency escalates. Joe Flacco, though nearing the end of his career, has shown he can still win games and manage an offense effectively. Even a sixth-round pick for Flacco would be a savvy move, particularly if the Browns are confident that one of their rookies can step up. The key is timing. Waiting too long could shrink the Titans' window of desperation, while moving too quickly might prevent the Browns from fully evaluating their own talent. With the regular season fast approaching, Cleveland can't afford to delay its decision-making process. The longer this quarterback battle stretches, the more difficult it becomes to extract trade value from the veterans. At some point, Stefanski and general manager Andrew Berry will need to make the tough calls. If Shedeur Sanders continues to shine and Dillon Gabriel shows consistent growth, there's no reason to keep both Flacco and Pickett on the roster. One of them will inevitably be the odd man out, rather than let that scenario play out through Waivers or bench assignments, the Browns would be wise to get proactive. Send one of the veterans to Tennessee, get some picks in return, and give the remaining quarterbacks room to grow without constant overcrowding in the QB room. There's also a strategic element to consider. The Browns don't just want to name a starter, they want to build chemistry between that quarterback and the offense as soon as possible. Every rep counts, every second-string handoff, every red zone drill, every snap under center is an opportunity to develop timing and trust. Spreading those reps to thin can delay that progress. By making a move now, Cleveland would not only add future draft capital, they'd streamline their development process. This would be particularly beneficial for someone like Sanders, who's been turning heads with his composure and leadership qualities. Giving him more time to run with the starters could unlock his potential even faster, and possibly cement him as the starter before Week 1 arrives. What makes this situation so compelling is that the Browns are in unfamiliar territory. They actually have too many intriguing quarterback options. Usually, Cleveland finds itself desperate for answers under center, scraping the bottom of the free agency barrel or handing the keys to an unproven backup. But now, after a proactive offseason and an injury to Watson that forced their hand, they've found themselves with a rare abundance of depth at the NFL's most critical position. Rather than let that depth become a distraction, they can use it to their advantage. The Titans are one of several teams who could come calling, but they're the ones most urgently in need. That puts Cleveland in the driver's seat. If they're smart, they won't waste this leverage. Looking ahead, Browns fans should prepare for a shakeup, because no matter who wins the starting role, the front office is going to make moves. That's what good teams do. They adapt to opportunity. Whether it's Flacco heading to Nashville to give the Titans a short-term boost, or Pickett getting a second chance to prove himself elsewhere, Cleveland can extract real value while cleaning up their depth chart. The rookies aren't going anywhere, and Deshaun Watson, for better or worse, is still under contract. Making room for the future while capitalizing on the present is the kind of roster management that separates contenders from pretenders. And if the Browns want to be taken seriously in 2025, making a quarterback trade is not just a suggestion, it's a strategic necessity. All eyes will be on training camp as this four-way quarterback battle continues to unfold. But don't be surprised if the headlines soon shift from competition to transaction. The Titans need help, and the Browns have what they're looking for. It's a matter of when, not if, the call comes. For Stefanski and Barry, the challenge is to remain focused on internal evaluations while staying flexible enough to make the right deal at the right time. With the AFC North shaping up to be one of the league's most competitive divisions once again, every move matters, and with so many teams desperate for quarterback stability, the Browns could be in a rare position to deal from strength. Keep your notifications on. Cleveland fans, QB news is coming, and it might just be the spark this franchise needs. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. The NFL world is buzzing with one of the wildest rumors of the offseason. Travis KELCE. Yes, the Travis KELCE may have just pulled off the unthinkable by reportedly closing a deal to join the Cleveland Browns. Let that sink in. The legendary tight end, a cornerstone of the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty, who many believed would retire with Patrick Mahomes by his side, might now be donning orange and brown. If this story holds weight, it's more than just a major roster shakeup. It's a seismic shift that could redefine the entire AFC picture. Browns fans are already going into meltdown mode, and rightfully so. Pairing KELCE with Deshaun Watson, that's a Madden-style fantasy come to life. It's the kind of move that has the potential to resurrect a franchise's identity. KELCE isn't just another tight end, he's arguably the greatest to ever do it. And now he might be coming home to Ohio. Insiders close to the situation are keeping quiet, but a few whispers have started to circulate from very reliable corners. KELCE, an Ohio native born in Westlake and a former Cincinnati Bearcat, has always had a soft spot for his home state. While he's built a Hall of Fame career in Kansas City, there's been subtle talk for years about a full circle moment. Could now be that moment? With the Chiefs tightening their cap situation and preparing for a new generation of offensive weapons, there might just be a perfect storm brewing for KELCE to exit on his own terms. And what better destination than the Browns, with their defense already top tier and Watson looking for redemption in 2025. The timing might be just right. KELCE would walk into Cleveland as not just a player, but a culture changer, a winner, and a beacon for a franchise desperate to prove it belongs at the The chemistry between Deshaun Watson and Travis Kelce could be electric. Watson has always been a quarterback who thrives when given a reliable, elite-level target. And no one fits that description better than Kelce. He isn't just a security blanket. He's a nightmare for linebackers, safeties, and defensive coordinators alike. The Browns haven't had a tight end of this caliber arguably ever. David Njoku has been solid. Sure, but Kelce is in a different galaxy. He commands double teams, opens up the field, and makes everyone around him better. Watson, coming off a challenging season both on and off the field, would benefit tremendously from having a veteran presence like Kelce. This could be the key that unlocks the quarterback Cleveland invested so much in. It's not just about talent, it's about leadership, experience, and knowing what it takes to win when it matters most. Kelce brings all of that in spades. There's also something poetic about this potential union. Travis Kelce returning to Ohio, a state that lives and breathes football, would be a homecoming of epic proportions. Imagine the scene, Kelce catching touchdowns in the Dawg Pound, hyping up fans in the freezing cold, bringing a championship mindset to a franchise starving for postseason relevance. For years, Browns fans have watched other teams lift Lombardists while they cycled through QBs and head coaches like clockwork. But this move, this bold, almost cinematic twist, could be the catalyst that changes the narrative. Kelce's championship pedigree, combined with Cleveland's growing core and a coach like Kevin Stefanski, could be the spark that ignites a serious Super Bowl run. And let's not forget, Kelce loves the spotlight. This move would keep him front and center in the headlines, exactly where he thrives. Ohio would eat this up, and the league wouldn't know what hit it. Of course, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, Patrick Mahomes. How would he react if this rumor turns out to be true? Mahomes and Kelce have become one of the most iconic duos in NFL history. Their chemistry so tight it often feels telepathic. For Kelce to walk away from that, even toward the end of his career, says a lot. Maybe it's about legacy, maybe it's about family, maybe it's about writing a new chapter before the book closes. Whatever the reason, it would undoubtedly be one of the most emotional storylines in recent memory. Chiefs Kingdom would be stunned, perhaps even heartbroken, but sometimes legends make bold moves. Not because they want to tarnish the past, but because they see a chance to build something fresh. Kelce has nothing left to prove in Kansas City. In Cleveland, he could become a savior, and what a story that would be. Financially, the deal would need to be structured smartly, especially given the Browns' existing cap commitments. But where there's smoke, there's usually fire, and the front office in Cleveland has shown it's not afraid to swing big when it believes the reward is worth the risk. They did it with Watson, controversial as it was, and they've built a defense that's arguably among the league's best. Adding Kelce to this mix would be a headline-grabbing chess move. Even if it means restructuring contracts or trimming elsewhere, the potential upside is massive. The Browns have struggled for decades to attract marquee offensive talent. Landing Kelce, even at age 35, would signal to the rest of the league that Cleveland is no longer just rebuilding, it's gunning for titles and for a fanbase long starved for something to believe in. This move could reignite the flames of hope in a way no draft pick or trade ever could. Social media has already gone wild, from cryptic tweets by former players to Instagram likes that feel too deliberate to ignore. The NFL rumor mill is in overdrive. Even Travis's brother, Jason Kelce, recently retired and now a media presence, has dropped a few sly comments that fans are analyzing like detectives on a case. Could it all be a coordinated smokescreen? Or are the Kelce brothers playing a much bigger game? Remember, this is the same Travis Kelce who's been a pop culture phenomenon, dating Taylor Swift, hosting a podcast, and lighting up late-night talk shows. He understands the power of narrative. If this Browns move is real, or even close to materializing, you can bet he's enjoying every second of the mystery, and that makes it all the more intriguing. Is this a calculated PR stunt, or the prelude to a legacy-defining twist in one of the most storied careers of this generation? On the football side, the X and O's of this potential move are fascinating. Picture a Browns offense with Kelce in the middle, Amari Cooper on the outside, Elijah Moore in the slot, and Nick Chubb when healthy punishing defenses on the ground. That's a nightmare scenario for any coordinator trying to game plan. Kelce's presence alone shifts the defensive alignment. Safeties cheat up, linebackers hesitate, and suddenly everything opens up. It wouldn't just be good for Watson. It would be transformative for the entire playbook. Stefanski could get creative again, leaning into two tight end sets or spreading the field in ways we've never seen from this team. And let's not forget Kelce's postseason prowess. He doesn't just show up in the playoffs, he dominates. For a Browns team with dreams of January relevance, that kind of experience is invaluable. If this deal comes through, we could be looking at the most dynamic Cleveland offense in decades, beyond the field. This rumored move could shift the culture in Cleveland entirely. We're talking about one of the most charismatic, respected players in the entire league joining a franchise that's often struggled with identity and confidence. KELCE brings swagger, credibility, and media attention wherever he goes. Imagine the impact he could have on the locker room, mentoring younger players, holding everyone to a championship standard, showing them what it takes to win consistently. That kind of leadership is priceless, especially in a city that's been waiting so long to break through. KELCE isn't just a player, he's a walking brand. The ripple effect of his presence would be felt in every part of the Browns organization, from ticket sales to national TV exposure, and let's not kid ourselves, NFL ratings would explode the moment KELCE suits up in orange and brown. The league knows it, the fans know it, and maybe, just maybe, Travis KELCE knows it too. So is it really happening? Has Travis KELCE shocked the football world by closing a deal with the Cleveland Browns? As of now, it remains a rumor, but the signs are hard to ignore. Where there's this much smoke, the fire often follows. The idea seems crazy at first glance, but when you connect the dots, the Ohio roots, the Chiefs' evolving offense, Watson's need for a top-tier target, and the Browns' win-now urgency, it starts to make eerie sense. Until we get an official word, fans will keep refreshing their feeds. Reporters will keep chasing sources, and the NFL landscape will hold its breath. Because if it's true, if KELCE really is headed to Cleveland, it will go down as one of the most jaw-dropping moves in recent memory. A franchise icon leaves his kingdom to become a legend in his homeland. Whether it's fact or fiction, one thing's for sure, the NFL will never be the same. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan. Hit subscribe and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!